Good morning, everybody. So we're gonna start off here again in the greenhouse today. The first thing I'm working on is I'm actually gonna plant some dill. Now, dill isn't like all the other seeds I plant. How I do dill is I actually just plant them kind of like by hand. I'll show you how I do it in a little bit, but it's not like the other ones where I put it on the seeder and I'll seed 512 in a seed tray at one time. So let's get to it and I'll show you what's going on. So we'll start by getting our tray and our 1204s. When I say 1204s, it means 12 packs with 4 cells in each one. So now I'll take my dirt and I'll fill these cells up. I have to do 3 flats of dill. We like to do them different plantings at different times so that we don't have all this dill on at once and then it starts to get too big and people don't want it. Big stick. Okay, so there's that. Now let's move back over into number 1 and finish this off. Now that I got my cells filled and I got it packed down a little bit, I'll grab my bag of dill seed. And what I'll actually do is I'm gonna grab this little contraption right here. And if you don't know what this does, what's supposed to do is I'm supposed to be able to press this button and it's supposed to vibrate this metal tray right here. And then I should be able to just kind of tap it and keep putting about 5 to 10 seeds in each cell of dill. But the problem is this actually broke and they're $120, so we're gonna try and fix it. But for now, I'm just gonna actually still use this thing, but instead of pressing the button, I'm gonna take my tweezers and kind of just tap it and shake them out into each cell. Because I'm only doing 3 trays, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so there's my dill seed. Gotta watch I don't spill it out of there. So now basically what I'm gonna try and do is just get 5 to 10 seeds in each cell. Sometimes I'm gonna get more, sometimes it's gonna be less. But for an average, that's what I'm working on. I try and also spread them out throughout that little cell, but I mean, I can't take all day to do this, so. Okay, so now that all of my cells are filled with the seed, I'll take them into the seed room where I'll cover them with vermiculite. So dill is now done. I got it in here and watered, along with on each end coleus. So that's about all I'm gonna do for seeding today. Dad is out here right now fertilizing, and then Mom is over number 2. I think she's transplanting some kind of flowers. So as I was here with Mom, I looked up and I could see the hanging basket starting to wilt. There's only about 2 in the whole row that I see that are like that, this being one of them. And so I have to water that, but we want to fertilize, so I had to run over to Dad and get some fertilizer, which I have right here. So I think this is 17-4-17. So I'll just pop that out of here. Drop that right into there. Turn my hanging basket line on. And then these are all of my valves to turn all of my rows of hanging baskets on. But I only want to water these 2 middle rows for right now. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4 I'm watering. So then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn this off. Turn this on. Turn this off. And now we're fertilizing. You hear that clicking. Right here you can see it going up to the line. So this is what's going on right now. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of hard. You can see it dripping out of there like that. Slowly but surely. Water all the baskets in these 2 rows right here. So what's happening here is, this is like our suction line right here. This is obviously, this blue stuff is the fertilizer. So what's happening is, if we don't want to fertilize, water comes out of this hydrant right here, through this red hose, up into the dosatron. And most of the time, we're not fertilizing, so we'll have these turned off, and this one will be turned on, so the water bypasses this and comes right out our lines. Like that. But now we're fertilizing, so I shut this off, turn these 2 on, it comes through here, and this is like kind of like a mini pump in there, and it's like, it's moving up and down. And so when that moves up, it's sucking this fertilizer up out of there, a certain amount to whatever we want to fertilize, whatever ratio, moves it through here, mixes with the line, comes through the hose, into our valves, then we turn our valves on that we want to water our hanging baskets out here. So I'm just getting down here now to our lower high tunnel, where we've been dripping it in certain spots because obviously there's no rain getting in here, and we're about to till it this upcoming week, so we wanted to have some kind of moisture in the ground. And actually, the other day I was watering it. We like to water it for about 2 to 4 hours every other day. Kind of move these lines, these black lines here, either one way or the other. That way, you know, we can put the water in different spots. But anyway, we were supposed to be watering it for like 4 hours, and I had to go somewhere, so I called my mom. I said, hey, will you please shut that water off? I'm not gonna get home in time. She goes, yeah, I'll do it. And well, she ended up forgetting. It ran for a little over 24 hours straight. And the lines are still sitting exactly where the water was being placed, and it doesn't even look like it was barely even watered. I mean, you would think being watered for 24 hours, it'd be like a lake in here, but I don't honestly know where the water's going. It's just so dry. I think that the ground is just absorbing it up. It's just, you know, it's going out left, it's going out right, it's going down deep. So, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world that it was left on. We don't like to do it because if you get a lot of water, it can actually wash the nutrients out of the ground. Now, I know that wasn't the case here. We didn't put that much water on, especially being dripped on, because dripping doesn't put near as much water on as, like, let's just say a rainstorm does, because you're only having one drip going, you know, in that little spot. But so that's just what's going on in here. Like I said, hopefully within this next week, we will be tilling this up. And then before you know it, we're gonna be laying fabric, laying down new drip lines, and planting tomatoes. Feel the water coming down through the line, going out through this green hose, comes into our header line, and then it starts to shoot out our 4 rows of drip line. Now this is actually last year's drip line from our previous tomatoes, and then we just leave it here, that way we can water the ground and keep it moist until we lay the new drip line now for this year. And then right here is my pressure gauge. Obviously, the water's got to build up and go through all these lines, get them all pressurized, and then this will start to build pressure, where I like to run it between 12 and 15 psi. You can already see here how the water is starting to drip, if you can see that. And that's all it'll do now for the next 4 hours. Daisy sits here waiting for me till I'm all done. Right, Daisy. right down there is where I just was. Now I'm up here next to the garlic field. The garlic's starting to come up now. It's really doing nice from what I can see. We like to plant, I think, about 6 to 8 inches apart, and that's about exactly how it's looking. Right down the row, every single row. So, fingers crossed, hopefully everything keeps going nice and it grows just like it is, because it's doing beautiful. Something like this right here, you can see it's struggling a little bit to come out because of all the straw in it, but it'll poke out of there, no problem. I'm just gonna help it out a little bit. And there you go. So, obviously this garlic will be growing now for the next couple months, but after it comes out of the ground, about another foot, then we'll probably fertilize it. And then basically, it'll be on its own. Ever since we started growing garlic, which has been about, I wanna say 5 years ago, we've never had to irrigate it, knock on wood. We've never really done much to the field. So I would like to put some cow manure on the field after we're done this year, after we harvest, for next year. That way the nutrients can soak into the ground when it rains, everything like that, because we always have been known for really nice big bulbs of garlic, and we still are getting nice bulbs of garlic, but I think that cow manure would really help out.